Hello lovely people.
Hiya.
So if you've seen the title of this video, then you know what it's already about. We did have to rehome our dog. Not Tilly. If you are a long time viewer,
Definitely not Tilly.
it's not Tilly.
We could never rehome
we've
Tilly.
had for a very long time. She is as old as our marriage. We actually got married.
She was weirdly born on the day that my mum died. Not the exact day, but the date.
The anniversary of.
Which I think is quite special.
Yeah, which was a month before our wedding date.
Yeah. But yes, we had to rehome our puppy, Bertie, who was still kind of a puppy because...
he was over a year.
He was over a year. Yeah, we put a lot of time into him.
We did.
We'd like toilet trained him. That was stressful.
A lot of training. A lot of training went into that dog. And that it didn't work for us as a family. So that is what this video is about. And also to tell you to not get a dog for Christmas. Even though we didn't actually get a dog for Christmas. We got him in the summer. And he went to his new home
but I think
a year later in the summer.
The same thing applies because we got him in a way because we were struggling with fertility, which I think is another common when they're feeling a bit broody and sad that they're not producing a baby, which obviously is not quite right. No.
And we were also still really upset about the loss of Walter.
Yeah.
Our first dog, who I had him since childhood.
You had him when I first met you.
Yeah, and when we first met, and Claudia likes to say it's one of the reasons that she fell in love with me.
Yeah, I was like, I can't leave you because then I have to leave Rupert. I can't leave you because
that's how much she cared about this dog.
I can't leave you because I'd have to leave Walter. No, but also like I don't know, you came as like a package, and
we did. We were a package. We were a package deal.
And he very much, formed a very tight bond with me.
Yeah, and I think with Bertie, we wanted to replace Walter.
It's never going to be quite the same.
So we're releasing this video on Twin-to-Twin Transfusion Syndrome Awareness Day, which is quite apt because obviously the twins coming was also something unexpected. And another reason, especially for me, is kind of the catalyst of why our family didn't work with two dogs.
Well, yeah, why?
Or with a young dog who was very excitable, as we will explain. So there were lots of good reasons as well that we got Bertie. Like Tilly was seeming more anxious than nervous on walks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I missed Walter a lot, and he died in October 2023. Well, actually, what was really awful was we had to put him down literally the same week that we lost a pregnancy.
Yeah.
So that was a really, really rough time. And it was like in October, and I already get SAD, and it was just like, I was like, this is really rubbish. I think then we were trying for a baby, and then that wasn't working. Bless you.
Sorry. I'm trying not to cry, and it's like...
Yeah, and I think I just I started looking at puppy videos initially to make myself feel good. You know how I'm gonna fill my body with like happy hormones, blah blah blah. What makes me happy? Like, oh yeah, I'll make my Instagram feed all about like puppies and like la la la. And obviously, the more puppies I started looking at, I was like, I really want a puppy. And I was like, Tilly really wants a puppy too. Like, she misses having a friend. Like, she's never lived in a house with like being the only dog. Yeah. Like, we're a two dog house. But I was like, yeah. So I convinced Jessica that getting a puppy was definitely what we needed.
Yeah.
She was pretty much swayed on it because you thought it was going to help my fertility.
Yes.
Because we were about to go do another transfer, and you thought like, okay, well, maybe it's going to flood Claudia's body with like oxytocin and happy hormones and blah, blah, blah.
I think there was definitely an element as well of like, it'll be a friend for Rupert. Mm. He'll have someone to play with since we're not giving him a sibling right now.
We chose Bertie because he was a Bichon cross.
Yes.
Because I couldn't find a pure Bichon, and I thought, you know what, I'll have something a bit different. Maybe like a Bichon poodle. Not knowing really, weirdly why I don't know this, because Tilly is also poodle cross. But the poodles have quite a lot of high energy.
I think there was also an element of it being like, oh, he's the last one left.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been there for so long.
Oh yeah, I forget. That's actually how it was. It wasn't. I wasn't actively looking to buy a puppy.
No, had it been like a puppy, I would definitely be like, no, I do not.
I think I was scrolling. I was scrolling on these puppy sites.
Absolutely not.
He was 11 weeks old, and I thought, oh no. like less people are going to want to buy him because he's already like 11 weeks old and he's the last one left. And it said he was a little bit toilet trained already. And I showed the pictures to Jessica, and Jessica was like, yeah, like he is really quite cute. And I think that made you think of Walter because Walter was the last one left as well.
Walter was the last one left.
Yeah. So we literally I messaged the lady. You know when you just think, oh, you know what, I'll just message, but it won't come to anything. She messaged back straight away and said like we were the perfect fit because I said we have a dog, we have a 4-year-old, we have a 3-year-old, blah blah blah. And then we drove up to London like the next day, and we were back home with a puppy because it's weirdly very easy to just go out and buy a pet. They should make it harder.
They should make it harder. They should make it harder, yes. We brought him back home and we were like, it's fine, we'll just do all the same things that we did with Tilly. We will train him to be just as conscientious and calm. Tilly and Walter were wonderful, like both are and were wonderful. We've never had to say, like, we don't have to worry about Rupert's things being on the floor because they would never touch his things, ever. We didn't have to have any concerns when he was a baby whatsoever. I trusted them completely. I mean, I'm not silly. I'm not going to leave
a
my
baby
little
and
baby.
The dog unattended, yeah.
Yeah, unattended, but I didn't feel a kind of like...
Yeah.
on edge watching what's going to happen.
And I think even more so with Tilly than Walter. Like Walter was really lovely and gentle, but he was a bigger dog. And sometimes he was a bit more clumsy. Like he would jump up onto the sofa and be like, oh, you're sat there.
No idea about his own
Sorry
size.
about that. Whereas Tilly's very like, she's kind of
apologies.
Yeah, she's kind of quite cat-like in a way that she can like slinks around, you know, like she doesn't ever like jump on anything. We thought it would be quite easy to train him. And...
that he would fit into the family, but instead he decided he wanted to be the boss, but he also wanted to be Claudia's number one.
Oh yes.
So he made life difficult for Tilly, in that he would kind of bite her legs while she was out on walks.
Yeah. I mean, he thought not in an aggressive way. Like he thought he was playing. So Tilly's always had a lot of joy in chasing her ball. So I throw the ball, thinking they would both run for it. Because I was like, oh well, maybe he'll be a ball person too. And then, but he didn't. He wasn't really interested in the ball. He just wanted to chase Tilly and then grab her hind legs. Yes. And then he would just stand there and hold them like, ha, I caught you. And then she was just like, no, this is not fun. But to the point that it was just getting really quite irritating for her. And like he sometimes just didn't recognize his own like strength as well. So that wasn't really very nice. And like I was like, oh, he'll grow out of it. Like we'll train him. I tried all sorts of things. And he just kept doing it. Luckily, thank God, he never did it to like any other dogs that we met at the park. He just did it to Tilly because that would have been quite mortifying for him to go up and like bite other dog's leg, even if it's a playful thing. But yeah, that was a bit stressful.
I think it's a dominance thing. Like he'd try and sort of push her out of the way at home and get into her spaces, go into her bed, take her food. He wouldn't let her cuddle with you.
Yeah, but I didn't realise. I thought before we got him, I thought she had become like more anxious on walks, which she had, and like not as cuddly at home, which was also kind of true. But I guess she was still grieving. And but then when Bertie came along, he was like so like obsessed with me basically. Yeah. He was like,
if you shut a door, he would stand the other side of it and howl for you.
Yeah, like he'd want to be on my lap if I sat down. I would not let Tilly next to me, even if Rupert came.
He wouldn't let Rupert next to you. Even if Rupert would get in between you and your child.
And then and I was like, okay, I'll get like a dog behaviourist person to come. Then our fertility did work.
Yes.
And we got pregnant, and we were pregnant with
3 babies.
3 babies. And obviously that was stressful. You were stressed about, it was a high-risk pregnancy.
It's a high-risk pregnancy. The dog keeps trying to sit in your stomach.
Bertie kept trying to like basically be close to me all the time. I'm the one who walks the dogs. And obviously going for walks was a bit stressful because he was like not behaving with Tilly.
In terms of safety as well, even like going up and down stairs, Tilly will wait. We've trained her to wait. When you're going downstairs, she waits at the top. When you get to the bottom, she comes down after. You don't have to say anything. She just does it now.
Yeah.
But he would not.
No, he just would.
He would not take that training. It didn't matter.
No, he would charge. He would charge down in front. But not only that, he would like turn around and like bite your ankles halfway down the stairs. And obviously
pregnant with triplets, trying to walk down the stairs.
Jessica was getting really stressed about it. Like,
and he's trying to knock you down.
He wasn't trying to knock me down.
I know his intention is not to knock you down. But what would have happened would have been.
Anyway, it got to the point Rupert also had not enjoyed Bertie's company. Like, he kept growing and he ended up being like similar size to Walter, if not maybe slightly bigger.
Yes.
It's like, because Walter was like, had the like kind of stocky Bichon body. Bertie had more of like a slightly more lean, muscular, poodle body, like, which is more jumpy. Rupert also didn't like Bertie. He told me that he did not love Bertie.
Bertie also destroyed some of Rupert's toys. Like, rest in peace to the Sylvanian families.
I said, okay, but I don't want to be one of those people. I've never wanted to be one of those people that buys a dog and gives them away. Like, we made this decision, we're going to make it work. Like, we wouldn't just give away, like, we would never, like, he's a part of our family and we'll just have to adjust to him, and he'll learn in time. He's just young. So Jessica was like, okay, fine. So, but when these babies are born, I don't want him to be here for the first like couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because I'll be recovering from a C-section, and he's like basically jumping on my tummy and like jumping on my lap, and like and also just didn't want him like being near the babies, because we weren't sure how he was going to be around babies, because we obviously never had him when he was young.
And then with Rupert, like, I think it's hard enough when you're having multiples, to kind of picture, like, how am I going to parent them, and how is it going to be so different from when I had a singleton? And I was already in some ways really upset about the things that it felt like the girls would be missing out on compared to Rupert, who had his early babyhood of being on the floor mat and under his Montessori mobiles in that like beautiful summertime. It's like really beautiful moments for me. And I was like, and I really want to make sure that the girls have those really special times. Yeah. And the dogs would, really gently walk around the mat, and they wouldn't go near his space, and they wouldn't touch his things, and were very respectful of him.
Tilly was like 4 when Rupert was born.
Yeah.
So like 4.5, nearly 5, or 5. Like, she was nearly 5. So like she was over that like puppy excitable point. So they would just like lie down and sleep in that nice doggy way that dogs do, whilst Rupert would play on the floor. Whereas like Bertie was like just turned 1. Was he gonna do that? Like, no, he's got high energy. I did manage to train both of them to sleep downstairs, which took a while to train without him crying. That was another thing you were annoyed about, because he would cry at night and keep me awake. And he still wasn't completely toilet trained. And I was pregnant, going up and down the stairs in the middle of the night.
High-risk pregnancy.
Yeah. The babies arrived. Our very kind friend who has dogs herself had agreed to take Tilly and Bertie for like a little holiday, like doggy holiday, to like basically have them for 2 weeks, whilst I was in hospital.
Is it only 2 weeks?
Yeah, whilst I was in hospital, and also you wanted longer, but I was like,
I did, because the girls were in hospital for longer than 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, they came back. I came back. I was in hospital for 5 days. I had like 9 days at home, and then they came back, and then their dogs came back. And he was, I will say, he was good. He knew, he could smell that I'd had a surgery. He didn't jump on me. He was calmer around me. We introduced him to the smells of the babies and like noises of the babies, and he was calm around that. And we were like, okay, good. And I thought for a little while maybe it was going to work. But I did say very strongly to Jessica, if it doesn't look like it's going to work, then yes, we'll rehome.
Yeah.
Because obviously our family is more important. And if it's not working, then it's going to cause too much stress for everybody. He wanted to be excitable and play and jump.
Yes,
and like,
we also had to set up gates around the house.
Yeah.
That's the part you missed. We had to set up gates around the house to kind of cordon off Bertie and the babies, because if Bertie came into a room and Claudia was on the other side of it, he would run to her no matter what was in his path, whether that was babies or Rupert.
I think that was like a little introduction to like, will he be all right? No, he seems to still be smashing into their Moses basket. So yeah, and poor Rupert hated having all these gates everywhere.
I hated the gates
because it's like
trying to get in and out of the gates while you're holding this tiny baby, still like not even due to have been born, premature baby, whilst you're using one leg to try and keep this dog out.
Well, fortunately, found out in like the early weeks of the girls being home and just trying to manage Bertie and wondering if it was going to work or not long term, that the friends had kindly looked after him, had taken him and Tilly to her mum's house during their 2-week holiday with them. And the mum had really taken to Bertie because she had just recently lost her dog, and she'd always had a dog, like one little loving companion dog, usually like a poodle mix. Our friend had expressed about how we were having concerns about him in the long run, and we just had twins that were premature.
Yeah, and she kind of was just like, guys,
and she just
how's it going?
She's like, at the off chance that, you do feel like you need to rehome, my mum has said she would like absolutely love to rehome, to like give home give a home to Bertie. And then you were like not sure how to approach this to me because she told you, and you were like, Jessica was like, oh, I don't know what to say to Claudia.
Like she's going to be really angry at me for suggesting this, even though it's
didn't come straight from you.
I think it's like in his best interest.
Yeah.
Because he was just the type of dog that needed to be number one.
Well, you came to me and you said, I don't know how I think you approached me when I was in a good mood. I had a little bit more sleep than like, maybe most like, it's like I'd had like 3 hours sleep rather than 2 or something. I just said, yeah, actually. But because I like adore dogs so much, I started, rather than saying it from the point of view of like, I just don't want to be one of those people that rehomes a dog. I don't want to be one of those like, and I just realized I was seeing it from the point of like how other people would be looking at me and judging me. Like I was judging myself for it. And I wasn't actually considering like what's actually best for Bertie. I already know what's best for my family probably was not buying him in the first place. Like that was a mistake. But how can I rectify that? And I was like, well, actually, what is best for him is for him to go to a home where he gets like 100% attention. And like he's going to get that in a home where he's the only dog, the only other being with some loving person who's going to give him like all the treats, all the cuddles, take him out for walks, like twice a day. Whereas I just wasn't able to do that like we did with Tilly when she was a puppy, because we didn't have children. Like we were able to give her like way more.
Yeah, we had a really different life.
Yeah, and we had like way more time and care to give her that we maybe didn't realise we didn't have anymore. Like I think we suddenly realised when we got her, we're not the same people. Like we have, not only do we have Rupert, but we've now also got Augusta and Theodora. We just didn't have the space and the time that he needed.
I mean, of course, completely forgot even to mention in this like year. So we're actually filming this the day after Claudia's birthday. I actually cried myself to sleep the night before your birthday.
Last year.
No.
This year?
Yeah,
this year. Oh.
Because it's been so much has happened in the last 12 months. And obviously some of it's been absolutely amazing and incredible. Like we have these 2 beautiful babies who are so wonderful. And like today Augusta stuck her bum up in the air because she's trying to start crawling.
Yeah.
What? That's incredible. But this time, a year ago, we did have 3 babies, and then they didn't all make it to the end. Like so much happened through that pregnancy, including like emergency surgery, and it just wasn't the right time to have Bertie in our lives. And I can see how like he is a really like fun, cool dog.
Yeah.
And maybe, yeah.
You'd be like the perfect family dog if our family were like all like primary school age. Like if they were all like, if the girls were like Rupert's age now and Rupert was older, then he'd be great because he was like high energy, had so much love to give. Yeah. Like, but it was always like he had too much love to give and too much energy for our family, who is actually in a kind of quieter place right now. Like, yeah, Rupert's got high energy, he's 4.5. But like the girls...
when Bertie was here, Rupert was 3.
Yeah.
And when Bertie stood up, he was the same height as Rupert. So
stood up as in like on 4
when
legs.
He's on his 4 legs. When he was on his 4 legs.
Just his face to face.
Just standing face to face. Oh God, yeah. He got really big. And suddenly he was there with Rupert, and Rupert's like, I'm only used to really small dogs. This is a bit much.
Yeah, so to do like the handover, like I still wasn't 100%. So I said, okay, your mum can have Bertie for like the weekend. And I think what helped was your friend like basically was like, I can come and pick him up like now, like right now. So I didn't even have time to like think about it. So I was like, okay, fine. Like I was like, if I think about it too much, I'm just gonna say no. And like I got picture updates and like he came back. And then when he came back, actually, this was another thing. Yeah. When he came back, I noticed how, because also I wanted to see what Bertie, I wanted to see what Tilly was like without him, whether she was gonna be sad, because it's hard to know, like, does she actually like him? Will she miss him? Maybe
it seems from the outside perspective to us humans that they're not getting on, but maybe they are.
Yeah. And I was like, it was more like when we are out of the house, like, is it nice for her to have another dog for company when she's waiting for us? You know, you don't know what the dynamics, because we have one of those in-house cameras. Anyway, but when he was gone for that weekend, she was suddenly like so much more affectionate. She was like on my lap. She was like cuddling me. It was like I took her for a walk around the park, and it was like so much more relaxed having just one dog at home with the girls. Like she was able to just like sit snuggled up to me whilst I was still breastfeeding, and which was really nice. Whereas when I was breastfeeding, when Bertie was around, I had to kind of shut him out the door, and it was just
howl.
And I suddenly realised I felt so much more relaxed, and also Jessica clearly was much more relaxed. Rupert seemed happier, and obviously one of the main things was like Tilly actually seemed happier that he was not there. And then when he came back, he tried to be like really dominant with Tilly. I think almost because he'd been in a house where he was the only dog, and then he came back again. He maybe, I don't know whether it was that or whether it was just maybe he'd always been quite dominant over her, and then I just didn't recognise it until he was gone. But then he was like he was like cocking his leg over her. I think
it's the second one.
Like he was just being quite like using his physicality because he was bigger than her.
Yes.
And like trying to get into her bed, and he was like barging next to her food bowl.
Trying to eat her food.
Yeah, and I was just like, was like, actually, I don't think Tilly really likes him. I've never really noticed this before, but I don't think she really wants him in our life.
I mean, I tried to tell you. 12 months.
So then we did a week trial where he went off to do a week. At the beginning of the handover of the week, I kind of knew like, if it goes well with your mum, then like, I won't ask for him back, because I didn't want to do a back and forth with him as well, because I think it's unfair for him and confusing. Like halfway through so I said goodbye. It was quite a quick handover because it was kind of like, it's not a forever, it's just like, you know, just for the week, kind of like how I mentally did it. Like didn't hand over like loads of paperwork and things like that at that time. But I did like cry because I think I knew that was like the last time I was going to see him.
She does still get picture updates.
And I think that was another reason I was okay about it, because it wasn't just handing him off to a complete stranger where I'd worry about him, but it was also like it was going to someone I knew but not knew that well, like someone I wouldn't really see, but if I did really, really want to go see him, I could.
Some friends of ours said that they would be happy to have him, but we would see them every day at the school gates with him.
Yeah, and I didn't want that. And I don't think that's confusing for him too.
Yes.
And then I read as well, like I Googled lots about like, you know, how does the dog feel when you rehome them? And then what gave me quite a lot of comfort was when I just read stuff that said that dogs actually just live really much in the moment. Yeah, they'll always remember you, and he'll probably like miss us a little bit. But if he's happy in his current place, in his current state, in his day to day, then he's happy, because dogs just live in the moment. He's fine. He's more than fine. He's getting more attention and more love. Yeah. Before we'd rehomed him, I did regret buying him, because I realised how much stress it had given us, and I didn't want to face the situation of having to rehome him. But now I don't regret buying him. We gave him to someone who really, really loves him, who probably would have otherwise not got him, you know?
Yeah, and found a way to meet him.
Yeah, and like he was a toilet trained, slightly better behaved, older puppy. She messages me with updates of pictures, and she says like how such a wonderful job I did, and how he's such a loving boy. He is. He was sweet.
I know.
Even my sister considered taking him because she has 2 older boys, but then even she decided he was too much.
You know, I think it would have been better if we had thought twice before getting Bertie.
If you had realised
I think it's still that
I was high on the fertility drugs and that you should not have listened to your wife.
Yes, the moral of the story is Jessica was wrong.
The moral of the story is, do not buy a puppy because you think it's going to make you feel better. Mm-mm. Or you think it's going to help you have a baby, or you think it's going to bring someone else you love lots of joy, but you haven't thought it through enough.
Or you're mourning the dog that your wife had since childhood, who you trauma bonded to because you were mourning your own mother.
Yes, we do recognise that. Yeah, Walter had a really special place in my heart because I met Jessica like just over 2 years after my mum had died, quite kind of suddenly from cancer. I grew up with dogs, but I hadn't had a dog for a while, and we hadn't had a family dog for a while. So I just like really loved dogs, and then I met Walter, and he was just like such a sweet little, I don't know, we were just like little kindred spirits. Like I think I was able to. I know, that's okay. Even a hyper energetic, boisterous dog like Bertie, all dogs have this like really kind of quiet knowingness about them, but especially like Walter did. Just like this really, they can read you so well. And you can like really like share how you feel with them without having to say anything.
If you cry, Walter used to come and sit next to you. He didn't do anything. He'd just be there like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
Like press his body again.
But I think it's also just like the act of like going out for daily walk, which I did with Walter when I was like still actually grieving, like is a wonderful way to like deal with grief, to go out into nature and walk and then like share the joy with a dog, you know, and just like small things like that, or like seeing like their like silly smiley face when you like throw them. I mean, he was not interested in balls, but when you threw them a stick and he'd like go run it, he'd go like run and pick up the stick.
He'd run towards the stick, he would not bring it back.
Yeah, and then he'd just look at you like, I found it.
Yeah, silly human.
You know,
why
like,
did you throw it?
Like I've said before to Jessica, and I think I've said it in a video before, but like I think not just Jessica, but Jessica and Walter really helped like mend my broken heart. So yeah. And dogs can do that, but buying a dog to try and do that is probably not the best idea.
And I think for me, a lot of the like fertility grief and grief with losing that pregnancy between Rupert and the girls, and then grief with losing the third baby, like it was just too much to then cope with having a dog that needed to be number one.
Yeah.
over babies. Happy. Bertie's really happy now. He's in a really happy home.
Tilly's really happy.
Tilly's
she gets
so much happier.
She's back in our bedroom. She sleeps on our bed again now, whereas before with Bertie she wasn't allowed.
No.
So she's happy because she gets to sleep.
Gets so many
and it's
cuddles.
nice for me because like in the middle of the night, like when I've just finished feeding one of the girls, like Tilly's just over there, and then like as soon as I put the girls back into their cot, like Tilly comes and like snuggles into me, like she's like, oh, I can snuggle. But then as soon as I pick up a baby, she's like, oh, okay, I'll go. And like, you know, she's just so sweet and yeah, she's very respectful. She's given them some little kisses, but only like when we've invited her to. She seems to be hyper vigilant. Like whenever they go down for a nap, she's like barks at everything, which is a little bit irritating. But luckily the girls are used to it and sleep through it. As a family of 5 humans, we will probably just stick with having one dog. That works for us right now.
Oh, thank you so much for bearing with us through this video and for allowing us the time to make it and process this and then talk about it rather than immediately. What a year it has been.
But now we get to celebrate Christmas as a family of 5 to 3 beautiful, healthy children. And you know, I like to think of it as like that third triplet kind of, they didn't make it, but like the girls then had a horrible complication of the TTTS, which then complicated things further. And I always think of it as if that other one gave us those 2 almost, you know?
Yeah,
like,
she gave us extra weeks because
and
they would have come much earlier.
And also they've now grown into like beautiful, healthy, happy little girls, and we wouldn't know if that would have been the case.
Yeah. We have to go to the
yeah. And now we have these 2 lovely bundles of joy.
Thank you so much for watching this very emotional video. It feels weird to now be like, follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, if you want to see our family of 5 continue to grow and blossom. In age, probably not number, we will stay as a family of 5 plus 1 dog. Then follow us on Instagram at Jessie and Claude.
Yes. And of course, you can always follow us here. Subscribe for more videos, hopefully not like this. Other videos. We hope you're having a good start to the month. And happy TTTS Awareness Day. For anyone who's like really scared and worried right now, look, it can be okay. This is our little donor twin. That's our receiver twin. Look at her. She's doing great.
Yeah.
Yes, you're doing amazingly, girls.
Also, I think we can't not have this video and not feature, you know.
Yeah!
Tilly!
Come. Our first baby girl.
Yeah,
the baby's up there.
She's
I don't want to accidentally get on her.
So why have you put the baby down?
Space.
Ta-da!
You're such a good girl.
Oh, we love you, Tilly.
We love
Look, they're like the same. They're matching.
You're both.
You're both wearing your white today. Tilly doesn't have another colour option.
Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.